Welcome to EnVision Center News, where we discuss community impact and involvement with today's nonprofit leaders and philanthropists. Thank you for joining us on EnVision Center News. I'm Katie Begalke, and today I am here with Kate McAllister and Holly Ellis from the City of Sandpoint. And we're going to be discussing a new program called the Be a Neighbor, Help a Neighbor program. And apparently we're taking requests on what the acronym for that could be, because Linus has been calling it Banhan, and I think we need to ban Banhan.
Yes,
yeah,
I would concur.
Okay, so to start, Holly, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at the city?
Sure. So I've been with the city for 2 years now. I'm actually newer to Sandpoint. I've been in Sandpoint as long as I've been at the city. My background is in engineering, and I was living and working in Seattle before I came here. One of the things that drew me into Sandpoint was just looking for a sense of community and finding that smaller town. I never lived in a small town. I wanted to give it a shot, and Sandpoint was so welcoming, and I really appreciate how community-oriented everyone is. So now at the city, I'm working as the construction manager. So just helping implement all of our fun projects that we've got under planning and getting them executed and putting things in the ground.
I love it. Thank you. And I can concur that this community is just so welcoming and community-focused, and it just draws people in. It's wonderful.
Totally does.
Yeah. Okay, Kate. If there is someone watching who doesn't know who this woman is, you must be new.
Infamous for throwing rocks.
Yes. Yeah.
Kate McAllister. I've lived here for over 30 years. I've run the Chamber of Commerce for 13 years. I am currently City Council President, and that's how, getting to know the city staff. And I too love this community. I, love being a part of it. Even though, as we discussed, public service can be difficult, it is certainly worthwhile because I love this community and I love just about everybody in it.
And if you're not loved, you might know that.
Right?
Okay, so let's just jump right into we covered the official name of the program. Mm-hmm. So what is the goal of this program? Who are we serving? What's the goal?
So right now it's really focused on snow shoveling. So what we're trying to do is help connect a population in Sandpoint. It's specific to Sandpoint right now that needs help with shoveling their sidewalk. So whether they're seniors or they have a physical disability and they can't shovel it themselves, they don't have help, trying to connect them with a volunteer who can shovel their sidewalk or walkway for them.
Perfect. And how did this program come to be? How did we realize that there was this need?
So I guess in Sandpoint in general, I hear all the time from people that walkability is important. There's a lot of users on sidewalks, and in the winter it becomes really difficult because the sidewalks are covered in snow. So snow removing on sidewalks is really important, that pedestrians have a safe route for travel, accessible travel in the winter months and in the summer. So it's really important to shovel sidewalks, but not everyone can do it. The city put out a survey back in November, and it was just about our snow removal in general. And it asked all sorts of questions, but one of the questions was, is there a population out there who needs help shoveling sidewalks, and should the city help? And it was really an open-ended question. And overwhelmingly, the answer was, yes, there's a need. Some people can't shovel their own sidewalks, and the city should do something to help. So I started researching what are other communities doing. Are there programs in other communities? And the answer to that is yes. There are a lot of different programs, and they're all different. But one thing I thought would be a really good fit was a volunteer program. So going back to, Sandpoint has a pretty helpful. I think people are really helpful and wanting to help. So it seems like there would be a good volunteer population out there. So that's kind of how this program came about. Just thinking, hey, we have a population that needs help. We also have a population that wants to volunteer and help. How do we connect these two?
Absolutely.
And it seemed like the Community Resource Center was a great fit for helping connect these folks.
Yeah, be that bridge. Yes. So the EnVision Center, we have a portal called Volunteer Connect. And over the past few years, we've been able to sign up a bunch of different organizations and a bunch of different volunteers who want to get plugged into the community and to specific volunteer opportunities, whether that's a one-day thing or an ongoing commitment. And what we learned is most of our volunteers really, really want to just like dive in, be put to work, and like be, just kind of a one and done type situation. So this program, I think, fits really perfectly with that. And I know that Linus and Sarah Hensel, our designer who now lives, is she in Virginia? I don't know. She's somewhere far away, somewhere not close by anymore, but she is so effective, and she was able to help get this program up on our website so we can start taking volunteers and having people sign up to get receive help. Pretty remarkably quick, I think, so too, right?
It was really quick, yeah. And I think too, it's because we are a community, and the one thing I think that sort of one of the bad things about the pandemic, too, is it really put distance between us. And also, we become so afraid. I mean, fear seems to be our motive in a lot of things nowadays, is that, well, I should shovel my neighbor's walk, but what if they don't want me to? What if I'm, infringing? And so it's really interesting how that became even bigger, and putting something together like this is really important. In a number of meetings I've been in before we started this program, it was, why can't we be like we used to be? You see your neighbor needed something, you just go out and do it. I mean, we've been helping our elderly neighbor for 30 years, where we live. Blowing her snow and doing all that stuff. And it's like, well, it's just what you do. And so I think this is a way for people to get back into that mode of, hey, we are a community. Mm-hmm. If you see a need, then go do it.
Right.
I mean, who is going to yell at you for shoveling their walk and helping them out?
I know. It seems crazy. To piggyback on that, we have 2 lawyers on our board of directors, and they see this as a potential risk, right? Like, oh man, well, we can't have our volunteers on their property. What if they slipped? What if they fell? But they were able to come together, find a legal agreement, and so now volunteers, and the people getting their sidewalks shoveled will sign these agreements, but. It is kind of sad that it's come to that, and that we can't just go and help people. But
and we just a report came out at the city. If you want to look at it, it's on housing and the economic analysis of Sandpoint, and our population is aging. Yes. We have quite a few people 55 and older.
Yes.
And so we're going to see more of those needs, and so the lovely young people who are moving to our community, it's like, this is the way we always were before. So let's bring that back. Mm-hmm. Not be afraid of one another, and go. You don't have to talk politics. Just go out and help each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
That doesn't know a political stance.
Right.
It's just help. Mm-hmm. And so I think that it's important, and I love that, the connection, like you said, the bridging between the city and the, because, and the city staff, I just have to say, I was telling Holly, are remarkable human beings. And they work so hard to keep, that big corporation, the City of Sandpoint, going. And I'm so appreciative of them, and everyone should be.
Nice. Good. Well, I know that everyone who lives in Sandpoint is appreciative of it, whether they realize it or not, right? Like, they all live here. They're happy about it, right? Mm-hmm. It's a thriving community. So say someone wants to register and be part of the program or sign up as a volunteer. How do you do that, Holly?
Well, it's really simple. I hope that no one feels deterred from asking for help. This program... It's an important program. It's really important to keep sidewalks clear for the community and your neighbors. And don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. It's really simple. If you go to the Community Resource Center website, you guys did an incredible job. The website is so easy to use. It's easy to find. So you go to the homepage, and there's Be a Neighbor, Help a Neighbor. I think it's just in the top right corner. And then you fill out like a 30-second questionnaire, just providing your name, your address, and I think there's 2 questions about, do you have a shovel for your volunteer, or do they need to bring their own? Do you have salt for your volunteer, or do they need to bring their own? And it's that simple.
Perfect. And so how is it zoned in terms of where people are going within the city? Is it everywhere? Can you get help in Sagal? Can you get help in Clark Fork? Or is it just specific to the city of Sandpoint?
It's Sandpoint specific for right now. I think that this program is going to grow in many ways, but how it's set up right now is just the Sandpoint city limits. So there's a map at the bottom of the form that shows Sandpoint split into 7 different sections. So I'm hoping that those sections are walkable so that no one needs to get into a car. Although if you wanted to sign up and serve the whole city, you're welcome to select more than one area. But kind of the idea was that we could get volunteers who don't drive. So we wanted to make sure that it was something that they could, pretty walkable. Sandpoint is very walkable in general.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know there's a lot of church organizations that are constantly looking to put their congregation out to work, that are doing, mission-oriented work. That would be a great opportunity for churches to get involved, or, after school programs. I don't know, but it's all available out there. There's so many volunteer opportunities where people can get plugged in. And I'm going to selfishly plug Volunteer Connect again, because we have those opportunities available from these different organizations. And if you're an organization and you aren't involved, we'd love that input on there as well. So some of these communities that you looked at who've been implementing these programs, where were those located? And can you tell us a little bit about the insights you gleaned from them?
Oh, all over. I was looking back on the East Coast, certainly over here out west, Troy, Montana, Boise, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. University of West Virginia has an awesome program. They have this app that they developed, the students developed, and they've implemented. It's really great. So Snow Buddies is a really common name for these programs. Snow Angels is another.
Cute. I like Snow Buddies.
Coeur d'Alene has a Snow Angel program, and it seems really successful. I think they have over 2,000 volunteers.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
And I'm kind of thinking that we'd be, I don't know if our population is even over 2,000. That's a joke. But I think we could, I think that we could be right on par with Coeur d'Alene, where we have so many volunteers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll just look at it from a percentage base instead of a
instead of a takeoff.
I love that. And then do any of those programs, do they morph into different seasons, into spring and summer, or,
So some do. For the most part, they were really oriented just towards snow removal. But there were a couple, for instance, it was in Idaho. It wasn't Boise, but it was a smaller community that I'm blanking on the name on. But they transformed it to, in the wintertime, it's snow removal. And then you get into lawn care. So they're cutting grass in the warmer months. And then in the fall, they're doing leaf removal. So it was a program that really was very seasonal. Yeah. And it was nice. One thing I heard is it was nice because it kept volunteers on board. They didn't forget about the program. They didn't forget about their neighbor. They stayed in touch through the year. So
yeah,
that was that was really nice.
I would imagine that through these programs, there must be an abundance of testimonials of people who now have relationships with their actual neighbor and maybe are checking in on more than just the snow removal, but, does your car need service? Are you able to get to the grocery store? Just checking in like a true neighbor.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think the programs with the biggest success, it was kind of cultural in the community. So it wasn't just a one-off this is a program we have. Those programs were less successful. It was the communities that were really all about walking and wanting sidewalks and also wanting to help. That cultural aspect really pushed those programs into success.
Nice.
So I think it'll be a good fit in this area because I think we have those two factors. And it will be really interesting going back to the name Be a Neighbor, Help a Neighbor. It was almost set up that it could grow and morph into something.
Yeah.
So
yeah. How did you come upon the name Be a Neighbor, Help a Neighbor instead of Snow Bunnies?
Well, Kate.
Buddies.
Well, we were in there, and I've spent my life in marketing, and so I just said, what about Be a Neighbor, Help a Neighbor? And so when you were talking about the acronym or whatever, all I see is a little bee buzzing around. Be right? Be a neighbor, right.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, it just seemed to fit. It was like, if you're going to be a neighbor, if you live in a neighborhood, then help a neighbor in a neighborhood. So,
show up.
So it's just one of those things that I'm like, hey, what about this? And everybody liked it, so I'm like, cool. That's good.
Excellent.
Right? Because you need something
a great
catchy.
name.
It is a great name because it says exactly what it is.
Right.
You know, and again, we are a community, and let's bring what we need to really concentrate on what can bring us together rather than tear us apart. So let's just concentrate on taking care of each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you never know when you're going to need somebody.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly. I love it. Well, I'm so excited that you guys are here and that this program exists and that we get to help communicate it out. Is there any other way that people can get involved besides volunteering themselves or share this news? Is it just talk about it incessantly with anyone who will listen?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, even I think that, and I should have done it today, like at the shopping district meeting, the downtown shopping district. There are groups, we all have groups of influence, and just, drop it. Hey, is there, have you heard about Be a Neighbor, Help a Neighbor? Do you have, because invariably in some group that you're in, someone will go, oh, I have an elderly neighbor, but I work all day. I can't help them. And, and so help them get signed up and let's take care of each other because it'll just make our community even that much better.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Just raising everybody up.
Yep.
And it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I have a proposition. I would love to invite you guys to come to our retirement mixer. Maybe we could get some people who are in need of some shoveling aware of this, or some volunteers or people who have time to give. So we're inviting 30 newly retired folks to this event. And what we're doing is we're also inviting 6 different nonprofits and groups that have opportunities for volunteers or board member positions and are looking to engage what I am calling Sandpoint's most valuable resource, the newly retired.
Yeah,
so that's a good marketing,
that's a
right?
Good one.
Yeah, that's a good marketing.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But we really want programs and nonprofits who have something to plug people into right away.
Right.
So we don't want that momentum to be lost, and the people who are coming to this event have a heart of service and getting involved in community. So I think you guys would be an amazing fit.
Because just because you're retired, you're not dead.
No.
You still have, and one of the isms we never talk about is ageism. And I'm 3 years away from retirement. And it really is, it's like, oh, you're retired? Okay, go sit over there then.
Gosh, no.
Have whatever. And it's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
No. We still have a lot to give. And so I think that's really important because a lot of times in retirement, you feel irrelevant. It's like, now what do I do?
Right.
Especially those who, and then if you've given your whole life to volunteering, it's like, it's nice to have something to, hey, I can still go and participate in my community. So
Absolutely.
excellent.
I know. I'm very excited about it. The whole idea was spurred because my neighbor is moving up here from Spokane pretty much full time and is retired. And I see him just like spending a lot of time in his yard. I'm like, that's a lot of time in your yard. Would you like something to get involved in?
Right.
And I know he will. It's just we got to invite and we got to give these opportunities for these organizations to understand like where people can get involved.
And it's the social aspect, right? Not the isolation.
Right.
So,
Exactly. So this event will take place at the at Baxter's, or the back door below Baxter's, and I'd love for you guys to be in attendance if you're interested.
When is it?
It is February 16th. It's a Thursday from 4 to 6.
Okay.
Rough time for you. Dang it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Holly?
I should be around. That's a fun place. It's hard to turn down.
I know, right?
Perfect.
Anytime there's adult beverages.
Right? I know. I love it. And so it's not going to happen here at the EnVision Center. We want to branch out and be downtown and be in a place where people can feel like free to mingle and talk and relax a little bit and hopefully make a friend or two, and just really just driving home that idea of like a community living in unity, really. So
well, and the 17th of February is the kickoff for the 50th annual Winter Carnival. That will be the 17th through the 26th, and that Friday is our, extremely successful shortest parade in the world. The parade of lights that kicks off the Winter Carnival. So anybody can come out, put lights all over yourself, wear a sign promoting your business, and it's free to enter the parade. And
I love it. I love that we're just covering all the events.
Right.
Anything else, Holly? Do you have more events?
I don't have any events.
Oh.
Would you like to be more plugged into events?
I really should be.
You should be.
I think I found the place. I think I just need to talk to you two and I about all
Maybe
the
you should have held back a minute.
Oh, man. Okay, so is there anything I haven't covered or asked that you'd like to share about the program?
I don't have anything to add. Just that if you're interested in volunteering, just be committed to the program. It's great if you're looking for a way to connect with the community, get some exercise if you're shoveling by hand, and meet your neighbors and meet more of the community. You know, like Kate said, during the pandemic, it was a rough time for so many, especially seniors. Mm-hmm. And I hope that no one is afraid to ask for help. And I think this can be a really positive program. We'll see where it grows. If you have any, I think feedback is huge. If you have any feedback, we just kicked off this program. So anything we can improve on, I think we're open to it.
Great.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's a great way also, the city partnering with the EnVision Center, because, you know, a lot of times we hear feedback that the city needs to be more involved, and now we are. I mean, we always have been. It's just that this is really one that's out in front that everybody can see. And, you know, I got to give all the kudos to Holly doing all that research, and, you know, Amanda, her boss, of, you know, saying, hey, go forth and find this out and let's figure this out. Because I visit the city every once in a while. And, you know, I hear like the girls up front saying, you know, oh my gosh, we're getting so many calls about, you know, snow shoveling. And now it's like, well, send them to the website, crec.org, so that they can fill out the thing. And so it's great to have a place to send them, as opposed to going, well, just go do it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Well, I know that Linus was over the moon excited that we were thought of, right? Because this is our goal, like to be this hub of the volunteers, and to, you know, have a pulse of what's going on in our community and with all the nonprofits, and so it's all these little baby steps, and this is confirmation that we're living our mission. So we're so happy that you guys reached out and that this is like coming to fruition, and, you know, hopefully there's just clear sidewalks as far as the eye can see.
Right. And everybody can walk.
Yeah, exactly. Get to the places they need to get to. Yeah, exactly.
I know. Well, and the great news is that I just have to say, another plug for the chamber is that our Leadership Sandpoint program is producing some really awesome leaders. You and Linus, and so many, 200 since I've been at the chamber.
It's an amazing program.
Right.
It's
and what do I always tell
program.
you? When you find something in all of this research that we do in each class that you can put your heart into, and so it's really great for me to see that people are going into public service, that people are, you know, going into nonprofits and stuff, because that's what we're about, a community, and whatever sparks your heart passion is,
completely.
That's where you should go. And I'm very proud of all of you. I think it's amazing.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, what you have done with that program and connecting all of these people, and it is just a network of support.
Right?
It is a network of support, and there's this like camaraderie, and I love it. I love it.
Well, and I'm hoping Holly might be able to go through next year. I think she'd really like it, especially being new to the community.
Absolutely, you should 100% do it. I was living here for 2 years, and I got to join, and I would say 60% of my friends have come from Leadership Sandpoint or the tennis league in Sandpoint. But if you play tennis, join tennis. Or pickleball.
Right. Well, and it's great if you come up with a problem, right? It's like, wait, I know somebody in my class who does that.
Yes.
You know, they're a banker. I mean, we have from CFOs to janitors in the class. And so it's just really, it's a good class. Man, we've covered a lot of stuff. I'm sorry.
We sure did. Okay, well, we're going to wrap up. And thank you again for being here, you guys. I am so excited about the program and about the collaboration and the work that's being done. So thanks
for having us.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for listening to today's episode. For more information, you can go to crecidaho.com. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you again soon.